a couple minutes into it, but I guess it
We're live just
says
right now, just so you know.
cops refuse to shoot armed black man threatening a crowd of people.
Wow. Well, you know, we all knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, it's just showing you how scared they are. I don't know where it's at.
Wouldn't you be if you were an officer nowadays, you know? If you were a cop nowadays, wouldn't you be afraid? You know, with all this drama and stuff going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
I'd be looking for white people to shoot. I mean, you know?
No, it's just this computer is just not strong enough to handle all these different processes.
Ask Jim Bob about that dual PC thing, because my computer guy seems to think that you can invest like maybe $600 to $800 in a PC and you still run it through your Mac. I don't know exactly how it works. He was kind of talking over my head, but since you talked to Jim Bob, I mean, he should know exactly what he's talking about. A dual PC streaming system.
All right, we'll have to look into it.
Or dual PC streaming.
So which one of these videos from Tara? We'll watch one and then we'll probably go just because it's getting late and I want to give my computer a chance to calm down.
So you should have a part 1 and a part 2, right?
Oh, I see it. Yeah.
The one with the younger kid is a bit of a heated discussion. The part 1 with the older Israel is, I guess, more logical and informative. But the younger guy lives in Israel. So, I mean, they're both great.
Well, the part 1 looks like the younger kid. Does he have a sash wrapped around his neck?
He's got the flag around
his neck. Body. Yeah, that's the younger kid?
Yeah, and then
that's part 1.
Yeah, part 2 is an older Jewish man. But they're still talking to the same pro-Palestine guy.
Okay. And this was what Tara was filming. Let's see. All right, yeah, we're back. Sorry, guys. Yeah,
we're up and running.
We're up and running again. It's just my laptop is not meant to handle all these different processes. I didn't have my little fan underneath it running, and it's just I'm using a laptop to do something that
Can you see my stand?
Yeah.
Definitely got to let that sumbitch air out.
Well, I have it on one of these desktop fans. I got like 5 fans on there. It's just I had unplugged it when I moved stuff around because I was trying not to use my air conditioner and it's overheating in the house. So that's why. Another thing too, it's hot over here.
Yeah.
And so when I moved that, I guess I unplugged the fan. Yeah, we're back.
90 degrees out today. Felt like it.
All right, so let me go here, and we'll put on this Palestinian table thing that Drunk Uncle's talking about, and we'll hit play.
It's just for people that that are not familiar with what's going on. I'll be one of the first to admit that I really didn't know exactly what was going on until a little about maybe 2 weeks ago. And I watched one day of protest in LA from the Palestinians. And I noticed the feeling that I got from the camera footage. And the same person video footage the next day in LA for the pro-Israel. And it was totally different. It was totally different.
Is that Chris?
And peaceful, like good people. And from where I've led from there, I'm totally in this situation. Unless something is totally crazy that's going to change my mind, I'm 100% Israel on this. 100% Israel.
All right. Well, let's
1,000% Israel.
1,000% is okay. Well, let's watch this. See what's going on here. Oh man. Whoever recorded this only recorded it on one. It's only in my right ear.
The French too. Therefore, the creation
no, it's in stereo.
Israel.
They should have put it.
Then in 19...
Single, right?
If it was in mono, you would hear it in both ears. It sends the same signal to both ears. It's in stereo, and they only recorded it on. So when you're recording on professional equipment, normally it only records on one channel, and then what you have to do then after that is when you go into your editing your footage, you have to put it into both channels. So whoever recorded it on just one channel, and then when they uploaded it or rendered it, they didn't edit it to put in both channels.
But if you have balance, that doesn't count, right?
What are you talking about?
I thought it said it on the back of here. Never mind. It's a term like
I understand what you're talking about, but the way cameras work, cameras.
If you have a left and right input, but you have a balanced cable, it doesn't matter. Like you could have a single right output or a single left output, and it'll still send out both sides because it's
not when it
balanced.
comes to professional cameras.
Gotcha. This is more about audio.
Yeah.
DJ.
Like I would show you on my camera, but the FBI have it, so I can't show you.
Later, then later on,
Like GoPros will automatically do both sides, but real professional cameras don't.
No, it doesn't say balanced either.
All right. I wonder if there's no way for me to even switch it over. Oh well.
broke out a war.
We're gonna have to deal with it.
Do you know that already? And that war,
So this is a
England,
little
the
bit
United
of a
States,
heated
and
one.
France
but,
held Israel to defeat
that's all
the
I'm
Israeli.
gonna say. That's all I'm gonna
the
say. The
Arab
kids
people.
got knowledge. The kids got knowledge.
Okay. Yeah. So that we're back in. This is one of Tara's videos. So.
In 19, when the war broke out with Israel.
Oh
But-
man, I'm not even gonna be able to hear
I
it.
mean,
You can't hear it?
Let's see. No.
Why not? Do I gotta change the settings again?
Well, how about I just put you on mute and I can turn my iPad up?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, going on mute now.
All right. I'm gonna hit play.
believe that you can live together. 5 seconds. You can live together if you want to. Otherwise,
Clap it up, clap it up. Okay. 3 minutes. Let's go.
Okay, we're gonna start here. The Jews have been living in Israel for over 3,000 years. If you go into the state of Israel and you dig up the land, you'll find artifacts from the Jews living there, whether it would be coins or it would be artifacts from things that they use or the menorahs that they use on Hanukkah. You will find, and the scrolls in the Dead Sea, the scrolls with Hebrew letters on it, you can
You
find
started
that when you dig
farther
up the
in.
ground in Israel. That's the first thing. The second, in Israel,
No, drunk, you're late. You're behind, bro. I was already playing it, and you started talking. You were interrupting people. That's why I hit pause. Like you're interrupting right now. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
thing is, the modern state of Israel was founded in 1948. It was founded in 1948. 2,000 years before that, the Jews were exiled out of Israel by the Romans. And what happened was they moved all over the Middle East, and they eventually ended up in Europe. And you have two sects of Judaism. You have Ashkenazi Jews, and you have the Sephardic Jews. In 1948, the modern state of Israel was created, and Jews from all the Muslim countries were forced out of their homes. You want to talk about ethnic cleansing? They were forced out of their homes. They weren't able to bring anything with them. They left with the clothing on their back, and they moved to Israel. And the Jews that came out of the Holocaust, the Ashkenazi Jews, a lot of them moved to the U.S., and then a lot of them moved to South America. A lot of them moved to South Africa. A lot of them moved to Australia. Some moved to Asia, and the rest moved to Israel. Now you say that the Palestinians lived in Israel before the state, but if we look at what happened before the state was created, it was under the British control, and before the British control, it was under the Ottomans. So when you say there was a Palestinian state, when was the Palestinian state created? Who was their president? What year was it founded? I don't know if you know, but the word Palestinian is a Roman term that the Romans gave when the Jews were kicked out. It's a Roman term, okay? Palestine. So when people say that, oh, it's Palestine, what Palestine? When was it founded? They only came after the Jews decided to come back to their homeland after being brutalized in different parts of the world. Whether it be genocide in the Spanish Inquisition, whether it be pogroms in Russia, whether it be them being brutalized throughout the Middle East, and then the Holocaust happened, and that was the final point where Jews realized that they have to come back to their homeland, because we have been a nation of despair, and we never, for 2,000 years we didn't have a homeland. We were a nation where we traveled from place to place, and we finally came back to where we were from, which is Israel. If you look at the Bible, I mean, you're gonna have to turn the Bible around if you're saying that the land of Israel doesn't belong to the Jews, because it clearly states Judea and Samaria. King David was a king of Jerusalem 1,000 years ago, or 1,500 years ago, and then King Solomon, and Palestine was something that was only created once Israel decided to come back and reclaim their land. And if you realize, the Palestinians are not even Palestinian, they're Jordanian, because the West Bank and that side of Israel was actually controlled by Jordan pre-1948. And actually, I forget that, 1967, before Israel was invaded by 6 Arab countries, and Israel decided...
Time.
Two minutes. Okay. You see? Don't mention Bible. If you mention the Bible, you see, if you mention the Bible, in the Roman Empire, the Palestinian and you people were obliterated by the Roman Empire.
Oh, you can't say you
that
people.
That doesn't mean that you were there in 1947, the only people that lived there together with you were there together with no problem. In 1947, you didn't have any problem. The problem started when the United Nations, by force, decide to create half of the land and give it to you. So you can say that the Bible is written on the Bible. That's nonsense. There's no Bible. The Bible was created by you people. Don't talk about the Bible.
What's up, Hemi?
You see, you gotta talk about the reality. The reality is that the Roman Empire occupied the whole Europe and part of Asia. So they don't care about people. So they don't care. But in 1947, 1948, the British, the French, and the America create Israel, the mother Israel, by force. That means that the only people living there at that time was the Palestinian, not the Israeli. The Palestinian, my friend. But if you want to live in peace, you could live with the Palestinians.
15 seconds.
The problem is the part of the Palestinian, you occupy the part of that belongs to the Palestinian. You see what happened during the war? 5,000 missiles the Palestinians throw to Tel Aviv. That means that you gotta think carefully, because each day they get.
Okay, we're gonna start with this. In 1929. This is 19 years before the state of Israel was created. There was a massive pogrom in the city of Hebron, which is in the West Bank, where our forefathers are buried. And 70 Jews were murdered, brutally murdered. The women were raped, the children were butchered, and the husbands were also killed viciously. You can look this up on Wikipedia. It was a very known pogrom that happened. This is 19 years before the state of Israel was created. So for you to tell me that there was no problem with the Jews in the state of Israel before the war is just a straight up lie. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. Now you're talking about 5,000 missiles being launched at Israel. Let me tell you something. In 2006, the Israelis, they forcibly kicked out 10,000 Jews that were living, it's called Gush Katif, in that area of Israel. They were forcibly removed from their homes in the pursuit of peace. Forcibly removed. And what happened on day one? They started firing rockets at Israel. So you know what Israel said? We have to make a blockade on Gaza because they're firing missiles at us, and they're coming through tunnels, and they're killing innocent civilians, and they're coming in with suicide vests. So for you to say that we have to think carefully about what happens in Gaza. Gaza is run by a terrorist organization that's recognized by the European governments, by America, by Canada, by Australia. So you're dealing with a government that not only in their charter calls for the extermination of Jews in Israel, but also calls for the killing of Jews worldwide. You can watch a video on YouTube where they teach their children and their kids how to kill Jews. okay, how to kill Jews, and not just Jews in Israel. They're referring to Jews all around the world. This is not an Israeli problem. This is a Jewish problem. And the last thing, Zionism, the meaning of Zionism is the determination that the Jews have a right to self-determine where they're from, which is Israel. So you can't. There's no difference between Zionism. If you're anti-Zionism, you're an anti-Semite. That's just a cover. That's just a cover.
What the hell is that 1 minute? Look.
He's getting hurt.
You gotta think twice now. You see, the Palestinians every day get more sophisticated. That means that you better live in peace with them. Otherwise,
30 seconds.
it will be impossible for the state of Israel to stay there. You see, it's 5,000 missiles. That means that every second in Tel Aviv, you gotta to be hiding. And you gotta think twice if you want to live like that for the rest of your life.
Really, on?
You see, it's better to have 2 states than to live and work forever. That means that next time they're gonna throw not 5,000 missiles, they're gonna throw 10,000, 40,000 missiles. You gotta be careful.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it with this. There's only one democracy in the Middle East. One democracy.
That's a lie, my friend.
Tell me another democracy. Tell me another country in the Middle East where there's no human rights. They don't have LGBTQ rights. They don't have women rights. Tell me one other country that has those rights besides for Israel. Another thing. I live in Israel. I go to school in Israel. I have Arabs in my classes that love Israel and rather live under Israeli control than live under the Palestinian control or Hamas's rule. Hamas, they don't care about their people, nor do they care about anybody else. When this war just happened, there was a rocket that struck a city called Lud in Israel and it killed a Palestinian father and his 16-year-old daughter. So for you to tell me that these people want peace with us is nonsense. Nonsense. It's a the problem is the government. Their government on their side, they don't want peace. There's a lot of people that do want peace, but it's the government at the end of the day that runs their people, and the lies that they teach their kids from when they're born is the biggest problem.
I'm sorry that happened, Leon.
All right, what I've heard today, our decision is that you guys both win.
You see?
All right, now go away. I don't want to talk anymore.
Right on. There was from Tara, Polish American Brotherhood, our homegirl. We'll watch the next one tomorrow, just because my computer's overheating, and we're gonna get this thing calmed down. I also gotta erase a lot of shit from my computer. My computer's kind of full. I'm trying to edit this 360 video.
I hope I didn't bore anybody with that. I think it's pertinent information. This is a big thing that's going on.
That's definitely something we need to talk about. And Hemi came and showed up. He's definitely getting ready to head out to his new state. He's excited to get the hell out of California. Oh, I wish I was going to, but I'm stuck here for a while. Anyways, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to try and... so the problem is I'm uploading video I'm uploading files to my Google Drive. You guys should see my Google Drive. I have like 10 terabytes in there right now. Yeah, but see, I'm lucky because my college, they give you free Google Drive, unlimited free Google Drive. And I went to the tech guy and I was like, hey, how long do I have to download all this stuff before you guys kick me off? He said, as long as you check in once a month, we'll never shut you down. Because I guess Google has something with the college.
If you keep it up there, like when you need to access it, like if you need to download it, do you have to basically re-download it, or do you get like immediate access?
No, I can watch it immediately, but if I want to use it on my computer, I got to re-download it. But I have gig speed, so I can download it in seconds.
Yeah, see, I thought I was going to be smart, and a few years ago, get a huge Apple storage and upload all of my DJ stuff to it, and just have a badass processor and a small hard drive that I just kept clean and DJ through that.
You see what Julius just wrote?
Yeah, I figured that out before I had a show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It doesn't work that way.
I spent like 5 days just wasting time. That's all I did was waste time.
Yeah. Freaking.
Uploading all that shit.
Yeah. You know what? Richard, everything stopped on that other stream. My computer, like I said, I'm using a laptop right now because, you guys know, the FBI robbed my house, took my good iMac computer. So it looks like.
We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys. It just happened. It's, we're dealing with a laptop here instead of a computer, which my laptop's not meant to be running all these processes at once. Processes, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully within the next month or two, I can get a new iMac and fully load it out. But that's pretty expensive. So we'll see what happens. We'll see.
We run along.
Yeah, we are. So, all right, guys. So we'll be back tomorrow, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. over there on the East Coast with Drunk Uncle. And Julius says he wants a Terra. You see what Julius says? I want a terabyte, meaning Terra, my homegrown Terra here. I think a lot of people want a terabyte. She's a beautiful young lady. But then she was Miss Miami and Miss New York. So what do you expect?
Yeah, she's a gorgeous woman. That she is.
But we have a lot of gorgeous women in our chat, so
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So that's it for the day. Let me see. Oh, the monster's passed out. I was gonna get Donnie to come up so you guys can see a little bit of Donald J. Trump, but he's sleeping. So, anyways, we'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you tomorrow. You got anything to say, Mittens?
Meow meow.
All right, guys.
That's the Dave Chappelle thing. Mac Mittens.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and upload more shit off of my computer tonight. Even though, see, I can download at 1 gig at a gig speed, but upload is 40 megabits. So I don't understand why they can't let me upload at a gig too. It just sucks. Cause, yeah, like just one of my GoPro, the Fresno home show the other day was 122 gigabytes. So that's gonna take forever to upload. Anyways, all right, guys. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back tomorrow night. I guess we got to play our song, huh? We got to edit it to add Drunk Uncle in there now. Maybe I'll just go in there and be like, and Drunk Uncle. And Drunk Uncle. There we go. That's what I'll do. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. I hope you guys had a good night. Don't drink too much. Drunk Uncle's already drank too much. But you know him. Yeah, he's got more Bud Lights right there. Or butt wipes. They call them butt wipes. The Eddie Block Show. I wonder where Mr. Nice Guy is. He's the one that made the song for us. He wasn't on the night. Alright, guys. You guys have a good night. Sweet dreams.